Okay, I would like to do a video where the character grabs an object. So I'm gonna use this axe. So if the character sees the axe, that he can approach it, and as soon as he collides with it, he grabs the axe and holds the axe in his hand. So first, I'm going to drag it into the scene, put it at 0, and I'm going to go and place it in the hand. So let's rotate it. Place it in his hand. So as soon as I do that, I'm going to drag it and drop it onto his wrist. So it's parented to his right wrist. You have to open up the main character armature and find the bone. And for now, I'm going to disable it because by default he doesn't have an axe in his hand. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag another axe into the scene, set it to 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to move the character back so I can see what I'm doing with the axe. And basically, I need to create a script. I'm just going to call it axe. Oops. Okay, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an empty object. I'll call that the axe as well. And I'm going to parent the axe to the empty, to this empty object. And onto the empty object, I'm going to put the axe script onto it. And I also need a rigid body. Make it, has to be kinematic. And I also need a box collider. I need to check that it is triggered. I need to move the axe up. So the geometry gets moved up, but the parent, the pivot's going to be at the base. So the box collider, the size is going to be I'm just guessing basically the length of his arm. So it's about roughly there. And oops, if I make I should make both of them 40. The y is going to be 2, and I'm going to move the center up by 1. So that should be about right. And I also need to grab the animations. So in the animator, I have 2 animations that I need to add. So the first one is grabbing axe and axe grabbed. And I'm going to create 2 triggers to trigger them. So first one is going to be called is grabbing axe, and the other one is going to be axe is grabbed. So I'm going to right click on the blend tree, make transition, and this one's going to be set. We'll turn off has exit time, and it is grabbing X. Oh, this is the wrong one. From here to here. It's grabbing X. And then this one, this is automatically go back after it plays once. But this second one is going to be triggered by two possible places. From here, X is grabbed, and same thing here, X is grabbed. So is grabbing X, immediately it can go this way to X is grabbed, or it might bounce back, but because this is set to X, because this trigger is triggered, it's gonna, even though it goes here, it's gonna go back this way anyway, so you can go from either way. Okay, and open up the Axe script. And in here, oops, what happened to my Axe script? There we go. Okay, so first I need to create a public game object called Axe. Oops. And in the update, what I'm going to do is Axe dot transform dot rotate 0 to 0 times time dot delta time. So it's rotating on the y-axis, which is the vertical axis. So it's not just like a still object that like when it's sitting there in the world, it's like rotating. Private void on collision enter. If collision dot game object dot compare tag is player, meaning that it collided with the player. You have to make sure that the player has the player tag. Put that there. Then I'm going to do a start coroutine. I'll call it destroy game object. And I want to trigger that by doing I enumerator destroy game object. Whoops. I forgot to add some brackets. Why is that not working? Yield, return, new, 4 seconds, 1. have brackets too. There you go. I'm going to do, after 1 second, I'm going to destroy game object. Because it takes 1 second for him to play the axe grabbing animation. Okay, I'm going to compile that. I'm going to go in here. I need to create a tag. So I'm going to go here, press the plus button, and create a tag called axe. And I'm going to assign that to the axe. So, and then I'm going to hop into the character script. And at the bottom of the script, I'm going to do private void on collision enter if collision dot game object dot compare tag is axe, and then first can control equals false, animator dot set trigger is grabbing axe, animator dot set float speed 0, start coroutine axe and grabbed. And I just need to create I enumerator axe grabbed yield return new wait for seconds 1 second. What's going on here? Oh, I don't need this. So after 1 second, animator dot set trigger axe grabbed, and axe dot set active true, and I need to create a public game object. Called axe, and this axe put that there. I think I need to do a part 2. This is getting too long. I don't want this to be more than 15 minutes. So this is part 2. I need to make some mistakes here. And I need one more curly bracket. Okay, so there is no more errors. I'm going to compile. And okay, so with the let's go back here. So with the axe selected, here's the script, and there's like this field for the game object. So I'm just going to grab the geometry and drag it into this field. And the character has the same thing. The character script, MC basic script. There's a field for axe, and I'm going to dump not the geometry, but the empty object, which is the parent. I'll stick that in, and put the axe a little bit further away. Okay, I made a mistake in my script. So instead of using on collision enter, I should be using on collision, or sorry, on trigger enter, because I'm using triggers. And instead of collision game object compare tag, I should be using other game object dot tag equals axe. And I've got to do the same. I've got to compile that and do the same thing for the axe script. This one is not. It's not on collision enter. It's on trigger enter. So I'm gonna swap that, and I want to grab the same thing. Other game object equals. Actually, I have a couple more things I have to change. In the character script, I put in the wrong axe. Instead of putting the one in his hand, I put this axe into this field. It's got to be the one in his hand. So I'm gonna drag and drop that real quick. And there's a few things I need to change in the script. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a boolean called axe. Call that axe collided. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to cancel out this. The problem with this is that this is not being triggered by the update, so it only does it once. I need it to do it constantly. So instead of doing that, I'm going to set the bool axe collided to true. I think I forgot to set it to false. Oh yeah, axe collided has to be false by default. In the update function, I'm going to put if axe collided equals true, then can control equals false, and I'm also going to rotate him towards the axe. So transform dot look at in brackets axe dot transform dot position, and he's constantly facing that way because it's happening in the update function. So as long as this is true, then both of these are also true. I'm gonna go back into the editor. Okay, one thing that I have to change with the animations is for there's two animations. The first one is when he grabs the axe. And then the second one is when he has the axe and it's up in the air. I need to loop this so it's continuous. So I'm going to click on loop time and hit apply. In the script, there's a couple things I need to change. In the update, this wasn't working. He wasn't looking at the if axe collided is equal to true, then I wanted to have him look at the axe, but this doesn't work. So instead, I'm just going to go back to the on trigger, and I'm going to use this transform dot look at new vector 3 axe transform position the player's transform position dot y axe transform position dot z, and I want to compile that. Oh, and I forgot, this is supposed to be after the I enumerator axe grabbed. It should be animator dot set trigger axe is grabbed. So I'm just going to compile that. One more thing I need to change is in the I enumerator, instead of after 1 second, it should be, I need to create another one. After 1 second, after about 5 seconds, the axis grabbed animation plays. Because I believe it's a total, let me get rid of this. I think this axe grabbing animation is about 5 or 6 seconds. So it needs a total of 5 plus 1, so 6 seconds to play the axis grabbed animation. But the axe in his hand has to be set active 1 second after. So I'm going to compile that. Okay, so I'm going to hit play, and if I walk up to it, he grabs it, he looks at it, and then throws it in the air. It's held there. Okay, so that's working fine. One last thing that I want to do is I'm going to go up here. I need to create using Unity engine dot scene management. First, I'm going to go back into the editor, go to inputs, and I'm going to press the plus button, and this one's going to be called quit. And in the binding, there's going to be a button, a binding keyword. Let's use escape keyboard. Okay, so I'm going to go to the bottom, near the bottom, and on quit, if the action is performed, then I'm just going to go back. I'm going to say scene manager dot load scene 0, which is, I'm using the same scene, so it's just going to, it should just go back to the beginning of the level. So I need to compile, make sure that I click save asset in the input actions editor, otherwise it's not going to save this new button that I created. I'm going to go back here, go to my character, I'm going to go to the player input, so this is where all the input is done in the new input system, and I need to go basic. If I go down, as you can see, it's created this the quit button, and I need to specify. I just need to drag and drop the script. And the function is mcbasic on quit, which is this thing that I just created right here on quit. So now if I hit play, just I go move around, and I press the escape button, it should just start level all over again. I'm just reloading the same scene. I can technically reload any scene. So press escape again, and it goes back, it reloads this level. Okay, so that's basically it. I just want to do the axe grab and the quit button. Hopefully that was helpful, and please stay tuned because there's going to be more videos. Okay, thanks.